Hello, hello, hello. Here I am again. I'm back with another HelloFresh video slash review. And the dinner that I'm making tonight is the beef tenderloin and shallot pan sauce. So you see there's a picture there. And it has garlic herb cream kale and mashed potatoes. See, I already got my bag set out. I'm going to remove everything from the bag so you can see all the different ingredients. I'll be right back. Okay, I have removed all the ingredients from the bag. So we have our golden Yukon potatoes, 2 shallots, some butter, which is roasted garlic herb, sour cream, a beef flavored demi-glaze, chives, our kale, and the beef tenderloin. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I wash the potatoes, and I'm now going to, try to get most of the skin off of the potato. Some people leave the skin on. I don't like skin in my mashed potatoes. Now, if I was just putting them in the oven to roast, I would be okay with that, but not in my mashed potatoes. I like mashed potatoes to be smooth and creamy, and I just don't think they can be smooth and creamy with the skin. Right, I'm now dicing the potatoes to place in my pot. I haven't filled it with water yet. I'm going to fill it with water later, salted water, and then we'll place it on the stove for about 15 to 20 minutes or until your potatoes are tender. Okay, so easily diced, place them in. Okay, as the potatoes are on the stove cooking, I'm going to go ahead and cut up the shallots, the chives, and the kale. Okay, of course you got to make sure you get the skin off the shallots. So the meal that I'm making, they call it a gourmet plus. And so they're usually a little bit more expensive than the regular meal. I don't remember the cost, but I can definitely look it up later and post it so you can get an idea of the cost of this particular meal with the beef tenderloin. There we go. You can see that. And I might have to get off camera for a little bit because I usually end up tearing up really bad with any type of onion or shallot. Like my eyes cannot take it. Okay. Like I know I cut a little slow, but there's no rush. Right? I'm at home, preparing dinner. Don't want to cut myself anyways, right? Alright, I'm going to finish cutting up the shallots. I'm actually going to use both of them. Alright, next thing we're going to cut up are the chives. That look really nice. They smell really good too. Just a little closer. So you all can see. Just kind of messing up a little small strands there. Into your life, grace upon grace, lady for ashes, you come to us, we come alive, we stand in awe of you. Alright, excuse the singing, y'all. I usually listen. Well, sometimes I listen to music when I cook. Sometimes I just cook in silence, depending on how the day went. Sometimes I just want silence. But today's one of those days where I listen to some gospel music know, it kind of relaxes my soul and spirit here. Alright, so those chives are cut up nice and beautifully. They did send another set of chives. I think I'm only going to use one set, and only because I'm not sure that the rest of the family likes chives. Okay. Alright. I'm going to now wash the kale, dry it, and I'll come back and I'll prepare that next. Alright, so we now have the kale. And see, you know, the big stem, we don't want that, right? So I'm mostly going to be just taking the stems off, putting them over in the trash. And, so these look pretty good. Oops. Stem. Okay, no big stems here. Okay, so now I'm just going to bundle it like this. Just kind of get it nicely chopped here in our bowl. We're just gonna repeat that. Remember, this is going to be our creamed kale. So I don't want those big giant stems in there. Have the rest of my kale here in this bowl, so I'm going to finish it up. Be right back. Potatoes are boiling beautifully. I am now going to start on the kale. I'm going to add my olive oil. Pan there. See that? And the olive oil I'm using here, virgin olive oil. It's kind of that in there. I'm going to add a little bit more. Okay. And you see how it kind of spread out there, that it's getting hot. You can test that with a little scissors. So with the instructions from HelloFresh, it says to add a dash of water. I went and looked in my cabinet to see if I had some chicken stock or chicken broth, and I don't have any. I wish I did, so that's what I would add in here instead of water. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a dash of water. I'm going to let that cook down first. One thing about kale is that once it cooks, it shrinks, because you see I still have like half a bowl left of kale. We're going to let that do what it do. Now you can see how the kale has cooked down to like almost nothing. Potatoes are coming along fine. One thing I like to try is I like to poke the potatoes just to see how tender and soft they are. And if I could poke them very easily, see how that pretty much broke apart, that means it's ready. So I'm going to get my strainer bowl. We're going to strain these potatoes. Be right back. Oh, also, we got to remove the kale from the heat, and then we'll get back to that later. Okay, I have mashed the potatoes with a fork. We're doing that. Okay, I'm now going to add the sour cream. It says to add, 2 packs of sour cream. Opened it, get that in there. Go. Alright, I don't want to get all that out of there, so we're going to scrape that up against here. Alright, then it says to add 2 tablespoons of butter, so we'll add that. I would probably say, I'm not measuring this, but I'm guessing about maybe 1/4 cup of milk. I'm going to stir all this up together until that butter is nice and melted. And I'll be adding some salt and pepper. Okay, and I'm gonna add half of the chives. Mix it in, really good. Of course, if you want thicker potatoes, then use less milk. If you want thinner potatoes, more milk. But I suggest you add it a little at a time so that your potatoes aren't soupy. But yes, this looks good. Okay, so you can see I removed the beef tenderloin from the packaging. These two came in one, and then these two came in one pack. All right, so we're just basically going to add our salt and pepper, and I'm going to also add some seasoned salt or seasonal, whatever you want to call it. You want to season generously as well. One thing about meat, you gotta really season it. And I do not have my seasoned salt, so let me go and get that. So this is what I like to use here. Y'all, I like salt. I'm sorry. You might be like, you should put a lot of salt on it. You know, you see how thick this beef is, so it's gonna need some flavoring. And you're not gonna have much. You're gonna end up putting more salt on it after it's cooked. I don't know about y'all, but I hate when people add more salt to their food after I've cooked it. Cause I'm like, did I not season that enough? Like, to me, it's like a slap in the face. I don't know who else feels that way. Okay. So, but also be careful not to make it salty. Alright, so we got this seasoned. I put olive oil in the pan, and I'll be right back with the meat in the pan. Alright, so you can see it's in there. Set right next to it. Alright. And all four will fit. And you cook it to your desired doneness. So it's at 4 to 7 minutes on each side. We like ours like medium well. So I probably do about 6 minutes on each side. Okay. As this is cooking, I'm going to straighten up my kitchen. Alright, it has been cooking on that one side for 6 minutes. Now I'm going to flip it over. Looking really good. I love using the tongs. It's much easier than trying to use a fork. You know, back in the day when I was trying to do this, using that forks and the juices get in the grease and pop the mess out of you. Looks like I'm probably going to have to flip this one over again to get this side to cook. The shape's really weird. But yeah, another 6 minutes. Okay, the steak is coming out really good. You see I've turned over this guy. I did let it cook for 6 minutes on the other side, but I still saw some blood. So I turned them back over, and I'm going to do another minute and a half, and then I'm going to remove it. Alright, it's been a whole another minute and a half. I've got a clean plate with a napkin, just to, you know, get off any excess oil. Yeah. That one took a little bit longer. Remember, on that one side it was raw, so we're gonna leave it on a bit. So here it is, looking really good. Okay. Now see, we still have a little bit of oil. We have some leftover pieces from the steak. We want to remove that. Okay. Now the instructions say, to add new oil, but I don't want to do that. I want to use the oil that I use to fry my steak in. So we're going to add the shallots. And saute them to a nice, tender, fragrant. Oh, a tongue-tied there. Smelling really good, really good. Oh, I might need to move my finger. Okay. It's hard to record with one hand and cook with the other. I need help here. Probably just move my camera over on my tripod. I think I'm going to do that. Be right back. Alright, that's a little better. So I'm going to add the glaze. This is the beef flavored demi glaze. I'm going to turn my heat down a little bit. I'm going to put it back to medium. Turn my fan off. You guys can hear me a little bit better. Glaze in there. Really good, really good. Alright. Side. Grab our spatula. Just mix that in. And it's just to add a 1/3 cup of water. I'm going to add the water. I'll let that simmer for a little bit. Okay. Yes. Looking good, looking good. And while that simmers, I'm going to put the kale back on the heat so I can add in the sour cream. Because remember, we're making a creamed kale. Alright. Okay, so the next step for the glazed onions is to add in the roasted garlic herb. And it says half. So remember, I have 2. So I'm going to add this whole one to this. And I think I said I turned off the heat, but yes, I turned the heat off. I'm just going to stir this in until it's melted. Okay. Use my handy dandy spatula. Let's see how that's getting in there. Looking really good, really good. Let's see what it tastes like. Pretty good. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Alright, so we got our spinach. If you want to call it spinach, it's kale. We're going to add the remaining sour cream. And there's 4 of these. And I looked to see how much was in each. And it's 28 grams in each package. Okay. Get that added in there. Nice. Pretty. Right. Go ahead and stir that up. Let me tell y'all, I've never had creamed kale. I've had creamed spinach, not kale. So this is going to be an adventure for me, I guess, so to speak, for my little palate. Let's just add the rest of this. sour cream. Sorry, blocking your view. Go. Mix that up. Okay. And then it says to add the rest of the garlic herb butter to our kale. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh, my fingers are greasy. Okay, let's see if we get it out. So that was the whole point of only using half, because the other half goes in to the kale. We'll see how this tastes. You see, it's looking pretty creamy. Pretty creamy. And we're now going to turn the heat off. I'm going to do a little taste test. Pretty good. I like. Alright, so our next step is to cut the steak. And I'm going to cut it, I don't know, this way. Let's see so you guys can see. I don't know if there's a certain way to cut steak. I'm just going to cut it in, not bite-sized pieces, because, you know, my bite-sized pieces are much smaller than this. But as you can see, when I left it on longer, it's actually well done. So 7.5 minutes on each side, you get a well done steak. Okay. I'm going to finish plating. Alright, here's the plated dish. I'm going to take that nice sauce that we made, pour it over that steak. Look at that. Looks delicious. Yummy, yummy. Alright, y'all know what time it is. It's tasting time. So, like I said earlier, these are not bite-sized pieces for me, so I'm just going to cut it in half. Good flavor. Really good seasoning. Not too salty. Or just enough salt. Cream kale is really good. I like it. I'm definitely planning to make this again. I'm not sure the rest of the family would like it. My daughter's not big on vegetables, but I'm thinking she might like this. I don't know. I'll let you guys know. Of course, mashed potatoes are mashed potatoes. To me, you can't mess up mashed potatoes. They're good too. Well, me, bon appetit. Until next time, God bless.